video. How exciting is this? Oh, hello, right. Right, quick, get in there. Right, so, this is an experiment. So what we're going to do, hang on, what does that say? Do you want to tag Gideon? No, do you want to be tagged in this video? That's quite clever, isn't it? It knows your face.
No, it's me. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Oh, I'm tagged.
You're tagged. Brilliant stuff. Great. Wow, how cool is that?
That's slightly scary.
This might not work, and we're doing Facebook Live. We are basically having our book club. This is Gideon Wilkins, in case you hadn't already, because he's being tagged automatically in the video by Facebook. Very creepy. Yeah. And this is Andrew Thomas, and we'll be talking about today the video called... the book called Crushing It. And every month we run a book club. This is the Star and Garter. It might be a bit loud. You guys might not even hear this. The phone might ping off the tripod. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's it's actually quite fun if the phone, that looks really dodgy. So I've got a tripod and it looks like it's clinging onto my phone by the very edge of its teeth kind of thing. So, Crushing It. Now I must admit, I've got to be honest, I've not been interested in Gary Vaynerchuk at all until I thought, you know what I mean, he's everywhere and he's so successful on social media. He's a bit controversial. Yep. And he doesn't mind using dropping the F-bomb, okay, you know, in the middle of something. And to be honest, I thought maybe from the little snippets I'd seen, I thought he's a bit obnoxious. You know what I mean? Sorry, Gary, if you're watching this, Gary, I apologise, because I've actually completely turned 100% around. Have I turned 100%? Well, I've turned 360 degrees around. Look at the maths. Let's not worry about the maths.
50% around.
I've turned 50% around. I've now reversed.
180.
I've reversed my opinion of Gary Vaynerchuk. And you know what? I listened to this on Audible, and it's blooming great. Okay. You know, I won't swear because we're on Facebook. There won't be kids watching this because they're not on this platform anymore, are they?
No, they're on
kids are on Snapchat. So, and Instagram, which we'll talk about in a bit. So the thing about the idea behind the book Crushing It is how to create your own brand online. And what he does is, I mean, he is just the living epitome of creating an online brand. So, first of all, do you know Gideon? Do you know Gideon? Hi Gideon. Right, so do you want to briefly introduce yourself to our millions of Facebook viewers here? I think there's probably 2 people watching. Hello?
Oh, yeah, no, I can see this. Someone just said
Roz! Hello. This is great. So interactive. Super. I think, Roz, you're the only person, or Raz. Sorry, Raz. I can't read. I've got the glasses on. Raz is the only person watching this. So, right, so Gideon, tell me about yourself.
I've known Paul for many years. We've worked on these together. I've been coming to book club for a while. I work for a marketing research company. I work with a global advertiser that spends $8 billion.
8 billion? I was going to say 40 billion, but
and so yeah, I work with them looking at ways of optimising their advertising. But we've also worked on local business projects. We have indeed. We did something for UNICEF where we helped small businesses learn how to take $1 million principles and apply them to £1,000 budgets.
Yeah,
that was good fun.
It's really good fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gideon. That's super duper. So, and this is Andrew Thomas. Yeah. And now, I hope Andrew doesn't mind. I'm going to call him a super nerd. Now, nerds, and when I grew up, a nerd was actually, you know, someone who was at parties and never had any friends. But Andrew was saying earlier, which I think is brilliant, nerds are now really popular people, especially super nerds.
Yep. I have to hide in the kitchen now.
There is a danger though that it goes over people's heads. Have you ever seen that, the rabbit and the headlamps, when you start actually talking technical to them and you realise they don't have a clue what you're saying? No. We're trying to avoid that tonight. Yeah. Great stuff. So tell me a bit about yourself, about really, look at this, his brand, talk about personal branding, look, he's wearing his own smart octopus, voice skills, chatbots, and SEO. What's SEO? I'm joking. I know what SEO is. Gosh, you need leapt in there. Nearly. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm fairly new to book club, but I'm not new to books. I've read a lot of books. I've created a new voice agency called Smart Octopus, and we are exploring ways of helping small businesses beat the big boys, because voice technology will get you in front of your clients in their homes. 22% of the UK homes now have a smart speaker.
22%. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you can think of 1 in 5 searches on a mobile are voice searches.
Yeah. 1 in 5?
Voice is where you have to be.
Got to be there, mate.
If you can answer the question when people ask it with your brand and your products, you are there.
I think that's awesome.
Wow, I didn't know it was that high.
I tell you, we're going to talk about voice later.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is actually spend a big section talking about voice.
Yeah.
Because obviously, one of the things that people are missing is that, when you think of social media, what do you think of?
Text, images, Facebook.
Facebook?
Okay. What's the right answer? I'm not talking about voice.
We're talking about Facebook. What other examples are there? Twitter. Come on, come on.
Instagram,
LinkedIn, Snapchat.
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo? Is that a new one?
Yeah.
Wow, Marco Polo. Watch out that one. TikTok. You didn't know about that one, did you?
I've heard of it.
Pinterest. I don't know how to use Pinterest. I know how to use it, but it just seemed like a lot of effort. But anyway. So we're going to talk a bit about, so tonight, so there's a lot of social media out there, but voice is not regarded as social media right now. Whereas, and I guess, is it social media? It's going to massively change the landscape of social media, that's for sure.
Well, being social and vocal.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Social and vocal, yes, it could be.
Actually, I was in the car driving someone the other day because WhatsApp is what they call dark social.
Dark social, because you can't market to people.
Can't market to
people like you hate WhatsApp because
Yeah.
there's no way of getting to people.
But I was sat in the car with someone the other day, and they had a conversation with their significant other by sending voice messages on WhatsApp. So they're driving, so they obviously can't text. So they could activate their phone from their steering wheel, and they'd press a button, send a voice message, hit send. 5 minutes later, a voice message came back. So it was a
conversation. A satellite delay conversation.
What I wanted to get was, you know the concept of telephone calls?
Why don't you just call them up?
So last century.
They say you're so out of date.
I mean, that's what
Who uses a telephone anymore?
Well, now there's an audio Twitter that's started off called Sound Branch. Right. So basically, you create on there, and the AI is so clever. You speak your tweet, it translates it straight into text and attaches that to the vocal, and then tweets it out.
We need to start that. That's another thing we need to do on my new social media strategy, which we'll talk about in a bit. All right. So this is going to be. I'm loving this conversation already. I think we've probably got 2 people watching. Yeah, he's so far away. I can't even see.
Denise. Hello, Denise.
Oh, hello, Denise. Oh, Denise. Who's Denise? He's not
Denise
on mine. Oh, Denise and Vernon Wilkinson. Wow. Blast from the blast. Hope you're good.
We've got a thumbs up.
A thumbs up, smashing stuff. So, so social media marketing and also creating your own brand. The whole point, so I've made some notes on Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Crushing It, which I think is just stupendous. And he talks about opportunity. And one of the things about voice, for example, is now it's like crystal clear that it's like the dawn of the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so, at the moment, it's confusing. Voice is difficult to get into. For the normal person who's not technical, not a super nerd like this guy, it is so difficult to get stuff automated and joined together and even get an idea of what to do. And so, right now there's a massive opportunity for people who are educating others how to do this, or helping people. So social media marketing experts, people who do SEO, things like that, come on guys, you've got to get into voice. But that's not what we're doing. So this is an opportunity. But all of social media is an opportunity, especially when they started out. I joined Twitter about 12 months ago.
That's the point. You said you must explore all platforms.
New platforms.
That you think your customers will be on. Because if you're not on there, what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that Gary Vaynerchuk, for example, is trying to break Alexa. the Amazon Echo devices. What he's doing is he's actually pushing them to the limits, realising what they can't do right now. But by realising what they can't do right now, he's actually looking at how they might work in the future.
Absolutely.
And it's
the features are coming thick and fast.
No, stop. We're not talking about voice right now. We're going to cover as many of we will talk about voice, and it's going to dominate the rest of this book club session, I think, because I know that you're really interested in this. from a multinational global marketing point of view, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I spoke to you before. So there are parts of the world where people can't read.
Yeah.
They're illiterate, but they can speak, obviously, and so they're using telephone to call a company. They can dial a number, so they'll look in the back of a bottle, and that's a new form of kind of social interaction. So that side of things is definitely a business opportunity.
So what kind of audience is that, do you think? How many millions globally?
Be more than it's probably approaching at least 500 million.
500 million people.
If you take kind of the rural, so if you look at feature phones and people that are not kind of mainstream education, there are hundreds of millions of people that at the moment are not being reached by Facebook.
Anything? No.
Radio. So in certain parts of the world, radio is still a massive platform.
The number one platform.
Because it's something that you can tune into. It's a popular platform, and you don't need literacy issues. You need a basic bit of technology. And so I suppose it's going to go, rather than going back into text, it's going to go radio.
Wow, voice. Because the next step up from music, the number one use of the voice platforms is music. Requesting obscure songs.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was saying he was trying to request the most obscure songs ever, and he couldn't get Alexa to not find the song, which I thought was quite good. But that's amazing. So the next step up from radio would be interactive radio, where they're requesting songs.
Yeah,
And of course, if you get them on that.
Or speaking to a company and saying, I've run out of toilet cleaner. Where can I find toilet?
Toilet roll.
Or I've just had some problems with my cooking and it didn't taste right. What went wrong?
Yeah.
And you can just send them it. And the idea, the whole kind of, I suppose the reason, going back to the example of the guy who was sending a message and then it wasn't coming back, it's way more convenient. It's not appointment-based conversation. So you could send a voice message to a company and say, I've just had this issue. And it may be that rather than sitting in a queue for a call centre for 20 minutes, you send the message off. 15 minutes later, a voice message comes back again, and it's like sending little social messages back and forth from people to companies.
Which they used to, because they used to microtransactions and sending money that way. There's a whole subsystem that most people don't know about in the UK, because we all have touch cards, whereas they exchange money via their phones, just blasting it back and forth. So why wouldn't they then start to use voice?
So he's just blasting something in there. Have you heard of WeChat?
Yes.
WeChat is massive. I mean, huge in China, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Asia, all those areas, and Oriental countries. And they've actually got, WeChat has actually introduced payment methods, and that's where people pay for stuff in China. One of the massive fashion brands that I'm working with right now globally, they've had to implement this just recently in China because people are coming to their shops and they've not got contactless cards, they've not got credit cards, they've not got the chip and pin, but they've got WeChat. And so they need to be able to take WeChat payments in high-end fashion where they're talking a t-shirt is £650. I won't mention the brand, but they're awesome. And I'm doing work with them. If you're watching, So WeChat, they've actually put, who's else in there? Fraz! Let's see, Fraz, how you doing? So WeChat has been implemented in China so that people can take payments. Did you know that homeless people in China have WeChat accounts, and instead of actually having a hat in front of them where people throw cash, they just basically touch phones and they give money to homeless people. Don't you think that's amazing?
That's pretty cool.
I think if you're homeless and you're watching this, by the way, well done for having the technology, but I think that's a brilliant idea, isn't it? I don't carry cash anymore.
No.
And so every time I walk past a homeless person,
buskers in London now have little contactless.
Do you really?
Yeah, on the tube.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Just a little chip and pin, and you can just, and it says, and the sign next to it says, tap to give me a quid.
No, that's brilliant. And they take 100. Actually, the limit's 30 quid, isn't it? So you can't do it.
I've wondered about taking random amounts at the bottom of an escalator with one of those devices.
Yeah, well, there's nobody else. Remember, you're live on Facebook here, but we're off topic, aren't we? We're talking about social media. So Gary Vaynerchuk in this book, Crushing It, and by the way, I suggest if you're on Audible, get the Audible version, because he drops in and goes, oh, that's so out of date now. And then he'll talk about the thing, and give you extra insights. And so I think Audible's fantastic, especially if you're using if you're going to work every day and you want to educate yourself. The only way to making use of that dead time, get Audible, put it on your phone, play it through Bluetooth on your speakers.
Yep.
Who's that? Hey. Oh, hey, I'm Hill. Hello, nice to meet you. Great to see you. So.
Yeah.
Social media, we're talking about opportunity on all social media, even if it's overwhelmed right now. And I look at Twitter and I think, you know what, is there any way of actually interacting with real people anymore? I don't know. But even with that, there's still opportunities. You just mentioned an opportunity with the voice thing on Twitter.
Yeah, that's wide open.
Sounds
I'm actually
amazing.
creating groups because they don't exist.
Wow, great stuff. That's really exciting. So I'm going to tell you my little strategy that I've been using on all the social media, and that's going to be really good a little bit later on. I got this from a guy called Todd. Name's Graham Todd, but Todd, if you're watching, Todd have you been on one of Todd's courses?
I was in a session with him.
Of course, Grey Club, fantastic.
Yeah.
And you've been on one of his courses?
I know of him.
Yeah, okay. So
yeehaw.
he does some, spaghetti agency. His branding. Talk about personal branding, and that's what Gary Vaynerchuk is all about. Personal branding. Todd made himself on Twitter.
It is the Wild West out there.
It is, absolutely, and that's his point.
Yes.
And the thing that I love about Todd is that he was actually, and Todd, if I get your story wrong, buddy, I'm really sorry. Just correct me. I'm an exaggerator. Gideon will tell you. But I believe that Todd was delivering wine and was trying to market on Twitter the wine, and realised that, you know, the pictures of him doing a selfie in front of vans and stuff like that, and just making witty comments and having a bit of a rant, just made a huge difference and massive following. And so Todd actually left his full-time job after going huge on Twitter and became a social media marketing person who actually knows what he's talking about. Sorry all you social marketing media gurus, but unfortunately some of you have read stuff out of books that are teaching it without actually having the following and all the stuff. Seriously, I was talking to a guy about YouTube a while ago, and I wanted to get him to come and talk at Growth about 90-day planning sessions. Little plug there. Hey, you see, it's subtle, isn't it? And I was saying to him, right, we've got small business owners. They want to know how to use YouTube and how to get followers on YouTube so that they can get, put content out there and get known. And he goes, yeah. I said, how many followers do you have? He goes, 23. I said, hang on.
He's a YouTube guru.
You're a YouTube. He says, no. I know everything about YouTube there is to know. I know how to do all the stuff. I said, but aren't you missing a little trick there? It doesn't matter how much you know about a social media platform. If you don't actually know how to get people to follow you on that social media platform, it's a bit of a waste of time, isn't it? So needless to say, I didn't go with him. I went with another guy called Matt. And Matt is incredible. He's got thousands of followers on YouTube. He documented his travels around the world when he was young. He's still young and gorgeous. Matt, you make me sick. But you know what? And he documented his travels, and people were watching that, and he went to different places, and it's really cool. And I think so.
It's
the
second largest search engine on the planet.
It is incredible. YouTube is an amazing platform. If you're not on it, get on it and start using it. I need to use that more. So Gary Vaynerchuk talks about opportunity. So opportunity to brand your stuff. He also talks about bravery. You know what? He says the best way, content is king. And he says the best way to make content is to document your life. And I'm thinking, how boring is my life? Actually, I think I've actually got quite an exciting life. But you know what I mean? Who'd be interested in my life? So this is an experiment, everybody. If this bombs and I get 3 views of this the entire night, and we got 3 people on with you, I probably won't ever do it again. You know, I might persist and do this.
Well, you see, and that's his point. He said, you should do. He said, post stuff for a year. Don't come to me after a month and go,
it's not
I've not got the world watching me.
Yeah.
It has to be at least a year's worth of content up there.
Absolutely.
To get people's attention.
So there was one of the coaches in Action Coach, Peter Bulker. He's a millionaire through coaching, and he only recently started on social media, and he clearly stated that he knows it's going to take him 18 months of putting content out there pretty much every day for 18 months before he will actually get a reasonable following. And that is the truth.
Yeah, and the platforms have changed. So
Yeah,
if you'd
and
done
they're
it 18
constantly
years,
changing.
if you'd done it 18 months ago, it would have been a lot easier because
Yeah.
the reach. Todd is documenting very well the fact that you haven't got the reach now, and you have to really put out high quality content.
Yeah.
Get lots of people engaging, lots of people doing likes when you're doing live feeds.
Thumbs up. Hey, do a like if you're online now. Yeah, okay. That's we'll try that again when there's actually people watching, shall we?
Yeah.
I'm banking on lots of people watching afterwards, but I think
Yeah.
you're quite entertaining.
Yeah,
and so is Andrew. And I'm kind of like the bloke in the middle. So, I mean, it's not as good as watching like a proper comedy, but I think we're nearly getting
No,
there.
we're not with Big Bang yet.
So, on that, so opportunity,
Yeah.
bravery, putting yourself out there, and it's risky, isn't it?
Yeah.
And commitment. You've got to be committed to getting yourself on social media. If you're not committed to it, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. So I'm not great on all social media, I'll be completely honest, but I've had a lot of success on LinkedIn. I managed to go, in 15 months, I managed to go from 500 connections on LinkedIn to 14,000, that's 13,697. But if you're on the app, it tells you a different number to the desktop. Which is really frustrating. I think it might be something to do with people following me and actual connections. But anyway, so that's a lot. And I've done that, and people say, how on earth have you done that in such a short amount of time? By spending 2 hours a bloody day on LinkedIn. I kid you not, 2 hours a day, every single day, posting content out every day. Sometimes, so I do one major post in the morning, we'll come on to this a little bit later on, which is handwritten for that day, and videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'll then use my buffer app, which we'll talk about in just a bit as well, to post out midday and evening posts that I've prepared earlier. And I sometimes repeat them because the chance of people seeing it the first time, very remote. So, and the thing about this is, about social media, if you, the key, by the way, hello Sarah, the key to being on social media is passion.
Yes.
If you have something you're passionate about, and that it drives you and that you would love to actually be doing it full time, Andrew, are you passionate about voice?
Yep, that's why I've just started a podcast.
Yeah,
Because I realised I've got to round up all the news that's happening globally and put it into one place for businesses to be able to hear.
Yeah.
So I've started a podcast. I'm about to record another one tonight.
You could have done it here.
I could.
You could have special guests like global multi-billion pound executive Gideon and Paul Bedford. That's it.
There's so
Very
much
successful
happening
coach.
this episode is just purely news about all the things that are happening across all the different platforms. I'll
Nice.
probably intermingle news and then interviews and then case studies on companies that are actively using voice to show people. But yeah, I mean, I've been posting on Instagram. There's lots of people on Instagram that are interested in voice. LinkedIn is slowly waking up to voice, and Twitter. I've got quite a high following on Twitter because you're just broadcasting to the world that you're here and this is what you do. But yeah, I mean, but it's finding the platform that the new adopters want to be on for your technology.
Well, I think there's also a relevance question as well. So I think there's a brilliant YouTube channel that has thousands and thousands of followers. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's something like medieval mechanics or something. It's a guy, and he sets up his camera, and it's this very slow, like wide angle, and he'll make something, and he's building like maybe a new kiln, or he's doing like some pillows, and he does it all out of original. And it's just, and he gets millions and millions of views.
You see, that's original and that's passionate, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I bet he's a right medieval nerd. I bet even does he dress in the medieval clothing as well?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. That'll do. Does he wear medieval underpants?
But
if I found a lot of them don't.
Okay, well,
Insider knowledge, I think it's
But I actually was a medieval reenactor in my... Do you remember? Yeah, I did that years and years ago. Yeah.
You're a super nerd.
I am a super nerd, yeah.
So, but the point is, if you put that content onto Twitter, it wouldn't work.
No, absolutely.
If you put that content onto LinkedIn, it would be irrelevant. So, I think there is a risk, and maybe, I've not read the book yet, and Gary might talk about this. I think it's about because there are some tools that broadcast the same image or
Don't-
message
yeah,
to all of your
you don't
channels.
want to be doing that.
But I think it's about relevancy. If I'm on one channel, if I'm on Instagram, I'm there to be visually entertained. If I'm on
Yes.
Twitter, I'm connecting with the news. If I'm
You're on Twitter, you're ADHD.
I think LinkedIn is about work.
Write your core content and then lift out bits that are relevant to the platform.
We're going to come on to that. Absolutely. Yeah, that's key.
Which is a really great insight that he puts out.
So, key point here, look at how each platform is used and make sure the content you put on that platform is popular. Here's a really interesting thing about Instagram that took me a while. So initially on Instagram I started putting out really cheesy business quotes, you know what I mean? With a bit of a picture in the back, remember? Yeah. That got me 800 followers. And then I started putting out proper content that I thought people might actually find useful. No followers at all. They're just not interested because there's no picture associated with it. And I thought, right, I need to re-look at. The great thing about Instagram is you can put so much text there that people, if they're actually bothered, can read it. But do they? Are they just looking at the pictures and scrolling through? Probably, unless you can get their attention on the picture and direct them
You've got
down.
8 seconds as they scroll past to find something of relevance that makes them stop. That's why the stories came in, where and they put them at the top to get people's attention.
Yes.
So if you want to do a video, once you click on that, you see one, and lots of clever companies are doing video after video after video that tell a story in the story, and then you drop. Then you go, this is really interesting. I just go in, and they'd actually done inside your account. Then they might read some of the bits, but I think it is people have got so little attention span that it's getting harder and harder to get your message across.
Absolutely. So great, yeah. So one of the things that Gary Vaynerchuk talks about is that there's this myth that if you want to follow your passion, you're going to be poor. Yeah. If you want to be, if you want the money, you're going to be miserable. Right. So passion poor, money miserable. The money is your career. You know what I mean? Where you're doing the daily grind every single day, doing this. And it's not your passion, but you're doing it because you got to pay the bills. And the interesting thing, one of the fantastic things about in Crushing It, Gary talks that he's got a lot of case studies of people who've read this book and then actually gone out and done what he said. And the interesting thing about all of these people is they all pretty much had full-time jobs. And what they did is demonstrated. Shall I swear? Shed loads, that wasn't what I was going to say, shed loads of commitment and passion by working their 9 till 5, scheduling an hour lunch break, working their lunch break, getting up at 5 in the morning and spending 3 hours before they go to work, and then working after work till 2 a.m, having 4 hours sleep. That doesn't add up, but you get the idea. 4 hours, maybe they get 2 a.m.
And going against the industry in some cases.
Yes.
The dentist case study there.
Right,
she got loads of flack, but this is unprofessional. And yet, tons of children see her acting out little things inside a dentist.
Let's actually explain that. So we don't cover it. You can go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So
I will interrupt you though. I'm just going to go on. I will.
So there's a really interesting case study of a dentist that couldn't get inroads into her particular region. So she started doing just silly little things and little play acting and putting these videos out on social media.
So a dentist with fun.
Yes.
Well, that's really unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think my dentist, by the way. Actually, I better not say this because she's local to Leamington. She's lovely.
She does it on musically. The children's miming social media platform, where they dance to their favourite music. So she would put on music and show cleaning the teeth and filling all and dance it to music. And of course the kids look at this and go, I want to go to a dentist that's that much fun. And we'd show the videos to their parents and you really want to go there? Okay. And she just took the market.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, but what a different she got from the rest of the industry going, this is unprofessional, this shouldn't be done. And you just go, but you're not.
It's working, and I'm stealing all your customers.
You are not my target audience.
Exactly.
The customers. So you have to write content that resonates with your customers.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing about that is target market. And Gary Vaynerchuk in his book, Crushing It, talks about finding a niche. And you know what? When I first started Action Coach, when I first started Action Coach, I was talking to everybody and anybody on the planet who'd possibly listen to me, and I was having no success at all. And what Gary clearly says in his book is that if you market to everybody, you'll get no one. Now, Gideon, you know about this.
Yeah.
So just if you haven't joined, Gideon, £8 billion global spend for a massive marketing corporation, and you are the man. So talk to me about niche and how important it is to find a target market that people can identify. Well, that you can identify.
So, I suppose it's about relevancy, isn't it? It's about having something that. So we're exposed to, we're broadcast to millions of messages and impressions and images all the time, and as a consumer, as a receiver of the advertising, the moment something is in that moment of relevance. So at the moment, I'm being bombarded with car adverts.
Yeah.
Because I've
You
shown
didn't
an
Google a
interest.
car, did you?
I've shown an interest, and suddenly,
The system is working.
But it doesn't work, doesn't it?
my click-through rate is because it'll come up and I'm like, oh, that's an interesting car, I'm not
Yeah.
clicking it. So they are getting very good performance in their digital advertising, and so what they're doing is they're creating relevancy to me. As a small business, you can't afford to advertise to
everybody,
1 million people.
It would cripple you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd cripple you.
And the problem is you're going to have dozens of people, 80% of those people that are going to go, that's not quite right fit for me. So I think what you started looking towards was saying, if I can only. So one of the things that we've seen is that when you're a small business, and most of the people, most small businesses are starting out small. The best thing you can do is pick one thing you are really, really good at.
Absolutely.
So if you think about Amazon, Amazon, one of the biggest websites in the world, and they sell everything.
Now.
They started out selling one thing. What did they sell? Books. And they started out saying, we are just going to sell books. And actually, they started out selling like second-hand books. And hard to find books. And that was the thing that people.
That was their niche, wasn't it? And I used that site all the time when I was
number one shampoo in the UK is a niche benefit product. Head and Shoulders.
Head and Shoulders.
They're the number one shampoo. So they started out only doing dandruff shampoo.
They did.
They now do scalp care. They now do stronger hair. So
they do everything.
They've gone in to go, you believe that we delivered against this benefit, and we became big. So what you want to do is you become a big brand in a very slim
tiny segment.
And then you go,
you can expand
and then we can go, okay, now we'll be small in the second one and become bigger. And so you're adding strings to your bow, but making sure that very first thing that you do is
that laser sharp focus. And that's where I decided to start concentrating on technology companies, software development companies, and technical people, because that's where I've come from.
Yeah, that's what you know.
Congruency is important in this. If you're going to go out on social media, yes. A lot of people don't realise I've had 9 businesses over my lifetime, and they aren't technical. A lot of them, I had a psychotherapy business. I sold books. Remember my hypnotherapy? Do you remember the CDs I sold internationally on 3 different continents to help you overcome IBS?
I do.
You helped me out with that, didn't you?
Yes, briefly.
Some of the ideas and stuff like that. So I've had a lot of businesses, and I am actually, I like sales and marketing, and niching down and getting laser sharp is really important. I've had more success with, I've started, so I'm going to finish.
Go.
I'll just interrupt you. You know I will. So niching down to technology companies, and I might even go further than that, has brought me to people like Andrew, people like Lee Sandor, who has a fantastic little business with text messaging and stuff like that, and those people started actually coming to me without me having to go to them, which is great. So sorry, what were you going to say?
I'm just going to say, so you're coaching what you know, which is why you're not coaching fashion companies.
Actually, I'm actually involved with a massive fashion company. I might have mentioned that already. Huge fashion company. And I've got some of their products which I'm not wearing tonight.
Yes, because you know you don't
They're
want
for
to
my
get-
best.
Yes.
Anyway, they're not for online. And I've got to wear the pink shirts.
Yes.
Haven't I? Can you, I don't know if you can see that in this dim
We'd
light.
have to hashtag them all.
Yeah.
We'd have to hashtag everybody, wouldn't we? Yeah.
Have
Okay.
you told them about your pink shirts?
Why don't you
are you
tell
wearing
me?
a pink shirt?
So why am I wearing a pink shirt? So you know what, this is really interesting. So again, it's about personal branding, okay? So Gideon what Gideon does is he looks at companies and you help them with all their branding and the colours and things like that. And I was looking at, was it Jameson's whiskey?
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, yes,
Jack Daniels.
silly. Jack Daniels whiskey, how they've always gone for
Yeah.
that same brand for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And sticking with the colours and the shades and everything like that. And so we did a bit of an analysis, didn't we?
Yeah.
On the kind of projected personality I want to be known as. Well, actually, this is my personality. What best colours that suit that adventurous,
Colourfully
exciting,
beautiful.
adventurous, like handsome person. Anyway, going balding personality.
Yeah.
And what we discovered that pink was a great brand colour for me.
Yeah.
So from that point onwards, I started wearing pink shirts at every event.
And the brilliant thing was, we were here last month, and someone went,
That's what I was going to say.
"Do you always wear a pink shirt?" You were wearing
Yeah.
it, and they'd actually noticed.
They don't really know. But the thing is, here's the funny thing. So if someone took a photo of me last August before the pink shirt thing, right? And had a blue shirt on, and he put it on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Well, I had LinkedIn 500 connections then, 14,000 now. He put a picture of me in a blue shirt on LinkedIn, and I had comments saying, "Hang on, where's the pink shirt?" I did,
brilliant.
and it's ace. And I had to
There's a
apologise and
continuity
say, "Look,
mismatch here.
I'm really sorry about this. It was taken before I discovered my pinkness."
But that's the thing is, if you are consistent 99 times out of 100,
Yeah.
you can sometimes choose
Get
to be
away with it.
inconsistent,
Yeah.
almost as a jarring moment of. So sometimes
Oh yeah,
where
so here I am being consistent again.
Yeah. But normally where you can, but if there's some particular, I don't know, seminar you want to do where you want to talk about disruption.
Oh, don't talk about disruption. Everyone's disrupting.
Yeah, no, I
everything.
remember.
Yes, you know about. I feel passionate about people who are disrupting.
No, it's distinctiveness.
Too used.
If you want to talk about distinctiveness.
Differentiation. Yes, I like that. Distinctiveness.
But then distinctive, you need to wear the pink shirt.
You do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
I'm not disrupting anything with a pink shirt. I'm just creating a brand that people
Apple
recognise.
were disruptive amongst all the grey IBM suits. There was
Oh,
one
they
guy
were,
with the
mate.
spinning bow tie.
The genius T-shirts.
Yeah.
On people who probably weren't geniuses. Let's face the facts. So anyway, back to social media marketing. You've got to look at your personality, and you've got to find what's passionate for you. Don't be someone else if you're going to go online and do your social media marketing. And what he talks a bit about, and this is really interesting, is the only thing stopping me with social media marketing is me. And he says to me, you mentioned that he says, don't come to me in 3 months after you tried it and it doesn't work. If you haven't done it for 18 months, every single day, lived and breathed it, in every single moment of your spare time, sacrifice, every single example in this book, they sacrifice everything for a good 18 months before it actually starts to work for them. And Gary Vaynerchuk clearly says that even if you do that, you're not guaranteed success, which is interesting. But there is a lot of land. Do you remember like the land grabbing? In the UK we have a shortage of land. Well, on social media there is still a lot of land to be grabbed. If you look at online, I mean, I don't know if you looked on online, and you look at like, what annoys me, it shouldn't do, because it's genius, is a 17-year-old girl applying makeup every day. And she got millions of followers. Millions of followers. There's loads of them. Zoella,
The original.
Multi-millionaire by putting makeup on every day and giving makeup tips. I just think that's fantastic. Being creative and
in your
so,
field.
so jealous. I wish I had done. Well, actually, me putting. No, stop. Me putting makeup on would not go down well. It wouldn't. Actually, you know what? It might do.
Boy George,
Transvestite tips on how to put makeup on.
Boy George has missed a massive market.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? That I've just stumbled on. I think a niche market there. That I'm not going to go there. But hey, if anybody's watching, that's a brilliant niche. I think. What do you think? Yeah. So anyway,
For the right person.
for the right person, obviously. So the thing about all social media platforms, you get a direct connection to people watching you. So I was a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and I still, because I've been doing work with a major corporation in Leeds, fashion industry, I might have mentioned that.
Yeah.
I've had to back out of a lot of local networking events. But the thing is, I would actually make a point, and this is something that Todd mentions on his course, is I would actually get the list of everybody attended that event, and if I'd met them, I'd connect with them on LinkedIn and say something like, hey, fantastic to meet you, great to talk, maybe we can meet up again for a coffee at some point in the future, be great to connect, is that okay? Poof, straight over there, they'd accept it. But people who didn't meet either, I'd say, hey, I'm really sorry we didn't get to chat to you at the event. And so they'd know me as well. But the great thing about that is because I went into video, doing video here, who am I here? Andrew Mills, hello! I haven't seen you for 15 years. By the way, you're aging well. I'm not, obviously, but I'm saying to the front here so you can't see my bald patch. Anyway, Andrew, so, what was we talking about? You weren't even listening, were you? Chamber of Commerce, yes. So, on some of my videos on LinkedIn have had 13,000 views.
Nice.
Which is not bad at all. And if I pop a video out there, it's really difficult. It's almost like what direction is the wind flowing at a particular time. I'm trying to put this out consistently, and LinkedIn changes their algorithms all the time. Be aware of that social media changes, and if you're going to use social media, don't bank on just one platform, because they can change it, and I'll tell you experience about that in just a second with LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn platform, by the way. So I was putting videos out there, and I was going along to these Chamber of Commerce events, and people I know for a fact I've never met come up to me, hello Paul, how you doing, great to see you. Yeah, we just put play acting there. And they would actually talk to me about my life.
Wow.
And they'd know stuff.
Yeah.
And
I really liked your video. I mean, you talking
yeah. And I'm thinking, all right, but you know what? There's a lot of silent people out there.
Yeah.
They don't like your stuff, which really annoys me. I wish they just like my stuff, please. It makes it more popular. Like it and commenting on it.
Gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling rather than just people. But people, a lot of people, they just watch.
Yeah.
In fact, some of my clients have come from people who never liked and never commented on any of my posts. But they've been watching. And had I not been putting stuff out there on LinkedIn every single day in, day out, unless I was really hungover, and then there's not a good idea to publish on social. Actually, that might be a good time. Because you're a bit more brutally be my true self.
Bravery.
Bravery. Commitment, opportunity.
As long as you're wearing a pink shirt.
Pink shirt.
It's
fine.
Well, this is the point. Celebrities used to be really heavily controlled by their management companies. You never heard anything bad about them. Who are the new celebrities? It's the influencers who show you absolutely every part of their life.
Yes.
I mean, there's some woman now who's just put the whole birth of her child on Instagram.
Was it 57 at 1 minute birth? Because you can only put 60 seconds on it. Is it 60 seconds on Instagram? I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, unless you put it on IGTV, then you can film the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's very, very brave to do that sort of thing and put yourself out there. But that's his point. You have to keep. He said, go to an event. He said, don't look at what's on in the event, like CES in Las Vegas. You watch all that online afterwards. You're there to meet all the people who have a common interest around that industry and get all their business cards, make all those connections, because you don't know when those connections are going to be useful to you.
I've stopped taking business cards. Do you know why?
Yeah.
I've stopped taking business cards so that when I meet people, I go, oh, I don't have business cards. Are you on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Because business cards, I lose business cards all the time.
All the time.
And with GDPR, it's a bit of a nightmare.
Oh, is it?
With holding personal information like business cards.
Yeah, but if I've given you my business card...
And that's a B2B relationship, that's alright.
Yeah,
it is, it's alright.
But the thing is, I lose business cards. Old friend of mine...
I burn them.
In
front of the person.
It
makes an impression.
Basketball cards. He had a big folder he'd flip through.
I take a picture and hand it back to them and go, that's in the database.
Yeah.
But now, with the new QR code in the top right corner of the search part of the LinkedIn app, you can just say, scan your QR code, you scan mine.
Well, what you can also do is, if you're at a networking event, you can actually, if you're the speaker, so I did a LinkedIn course a little while ago, and there's 30 people in that room at the Chamber of Commerce, and I said to them, look, on your mobile phone, you go to your homepage on your profile, I can't remember exactly what it is, but there's a find people nearby setting. You turn that on, and everybody in the room suddenly pops up. And you can connect to them all instantaneously. I told them all to turn it on. I said, look, boop, 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 boop. If you're not already connected on LinkedIn, you are now. And then, of course, I spam them. No, I don't. No. I give quality content every single day. And that's what social media is all about. So, every single social media has a different purpose. And there's a great, I use a great tool called Buffer. But the thing is, if I try to put the same content out on every platform, it wouldn't work. So even though I've got Buffer to make things easier, it's still effort. But the thing is, so what I do is I've chosen one platform that I'm actually really good at. And I'm really good at LinkedIn. And so I produce, and this what Todd does is he has chosen his blog as the platform. And he'll write a blog, he'll have a bit of a rant, it can be quite controversial, I love some of his stuff, it's brilliant. And so he'll write a blog, but then what he'll do is he'll take parts of that blog, pop it on Twitter, as a bit of a kind of, not clickbait, but a inquisitiveness, but then link back to his blog. He'll put it on LinkedIn, he'll put it on Instagram with a nice photo, and he repurposes all of his content from that base place. So he's not recreating his content on all social media.
And the website is still your central hub as a business.
Yeah.
Everything else is auxiliary and should be taken, as you say, based on the clients that you expect to get on those super platforms.
Absolutely. So the thing is, if you own your website, it can't be taken away from you. So here's a cautionary tale. Facebook change things all the time. LinkedIn changing all the time. They're now owned by Microsoft, so it's going to continue to change. So I've been connecting with people. I've been using LinkedIn as a networking tool. But the problem is, what happens is, when you send an invite to people, LinkedIn in the background are counting how many people say, I don't know this person. Not just ignoring you, but just saying, I don't know this person. And when they count up to a certain threshold, which they wouldn't tell me what the threshold was, you get stopped from connecting to people unless you can provide their email address. And let's face the facts, you don't have the email address to a lot of people. So that's crippled my growth on LinkedIn. And the interesting thing I thought about that is, okay, well, these are my contacts on LinkedIn, my connections. I've been growing them for a long time right now. So you can actually download the data from LinkedIn. And I downloaded all my connections, and they're blanked out every single email address.
That's it?
Yeah,
From
my connections. And I thought, ooh, you clever people. And so I read a post from a guy called Peter Wendt. Peter, are we connected on Facebook? If we are, give me a thumbs up at some point if you actually watch this. Peter wrote a great allegory of actually putting all your eggs in one basket on a social media platform like LinkedIn, who then change it. And the thing, and what he said was,
MySpace followers are gone.
MySpace, yeah. God, so 80s. And the thing about, so what he said was, if you rent a plot of land, don't build a house on it. And he actually gave a real scenario where someone had rented a plot of land and built a house on it, and you thought they'd be all right. But of course, the owner of the land said, well, I want that land back now. I want to do X and Y and Z with it. And so they had a massive court case, and of course, the person had to leave, and the house got demolished because they'd built a house on rented land. Wow. Now, when you put all your eggs in one basket, if you're on kind of like, if you're on social media and your LinkedIn, for example, is your one platform, and something like that happens to what's happened to me, is they cripple my ability to connect with people, or they detect other activity that I'm doing and decide, well, that's no longer available, and they stop me messaging people. That cripples my marketing massively for my business. And so then I have to find another way of doing things. So watch out for that. If you're doing any social media,
there's similar limits on Facebook. You know, you can't
have
more than 5,000 in your
and your personal one-to-one connections. Which I'm thankfully. So what I did,
I've maxed out the number of groups you can be on LinkedIn. I think it's 50.
Oh, okay.
You can't be in any more than 50 groups on LinkedIn. Great.
There you go, you're done.
Yeah. I get invited to new ones and I can't accept. It says end game.
Wow. And I think you can only, on LinkedIn, you can only have 33,000 connections or something like that. And then people have to start following you from then on. I think that's a bit. There's not a database limit to that. I don't know why they've put that in force.
Yeah.
Can you think of a reason, then? Gideon, you're the marketing expert.
I suppose the thing is, what LinkedIn need to preserve is the idea of LinkedIn. So they need to preserve their niche in the market.
Yeah.
What they're positioning themselves as is the place where you connect with people that you already knew. So
Yes,
the idea is
that's the idea.
these are
You know
supposed to be people that you know, and it's the platform where when you log in, you see content. And sometimes I'm scrolling through LinkedIn and I'll see something and I'll be like, "Who's that? I don't know who that is." And it's someone that's maybe added me at some point, and it's a colleague of a colleague, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go on." And then they share something, and in that moment, it's about relevant. In that moment, LinkedIn has just become one step less relevant. So LinkedIn needs to protect their brand.
Of course it is.
So
This is a really good point.
there is probably someone has probably sat down and gone, over the course of someone's career,
How many can they
how
possibly
many
make?
could they realistically actually know? And probably that number is 10,000. So they said, okay, let's be generous and double it. And then someone else has said, no, let's triple it. And add 10% for good measure.
And add a 10%.
But realistically, if you had 33,000 connections on LinkedIn,
That's my goal, by the way. Numbers. Which is stupid. But anyway, we'll come on to that.
but from your point of view, absolutely, it's reasonable for you to have that goal. But from LinkedIn's point of view, the risk is that people are then you're downgrading the user experience of people logging into what is supposed to be kind of inspired by people that you think, because it's supposed to be
peers.
The other place where LinkedIn make a lot of their money is in recruiters.
They do.
And so if you are connected to someone, that suggests a certain level of credibility and authority. So if I look at your profile and I see that you're connected to Graham Todd. Graham Todd?
Yeah. People know him as Todd, which is a bit confusing. That's his last name.
But in seeing that there is that connection, I can make an assumption about you. Go, okay, so there is a connection there between the two of you, and therefore I might want to hire you as a person, as a coach, and so for recruiters where LinkedIn making so much money, recruiters are probably applying a lot of pressure saying, I don't want people connected to people that are junk, because I want to judge that person, whether they're relevant to my role that I'm advertising, based on their connections. So rather than having to old-fashioned
applying for a director role when all you're connected to are call centre staff.
Yeah.
But you're a call centre staff.
Yeah. No, but it's
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
So,
That's a good way of looking at it.
So you aren't the source of LinkedIn's revenue?
I am not. Well, I am. I'm actually got a Sales Navigator subscription.
Okay.
So I am actually.
I'll take your money off you.
Well, I'm not going to renew. I can't connect with people. What's the point of that?
But you need to focus on inbound marketing.
I am actually. What I'm doing now is if people comment on my posts who are second level connections, I make a relevant comment back to them and say, oh, by the way, it would be great to be part of your network. Feel free to send me a connection request.
Oh, and that you are allowed to.
Yeah, well, they haven't stopped me yet.
LinkedIn, if you're watching, that's okay.
LinkedIn, I don't do that.
No,
If
this
you're
is
watching.
Facebook. Don't say
Oh, this is
LinkedIn.
Facebook.
We said to this on Facebook.
Hey, Ian! Nice to see you, mate. Good to see you.
But of course, Facebook is also
Book club, Ian. Crushing it. Gary Vaynerchuk. Sorry, go on.
because the other problem is that Facebook are planning to turn off the newsfeed.
Yes. What? That's major. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, this is juicy.
Well,
This plays up on all of it. This is the guy
Just
who knows.
relevant content from your friends. Because you've only ever connected to your friends on Facebook.
So how is that different to a newsfeed?
Because at the moment the newsfeed is based on what the things you like. So, and as he said,
the fact
if
that
you
I follow a page, that's
Yeah,
not
and
going to be in the content that I see.
Yeah, well, I mean, Gary's point was that that there was no Russian influence of people's decisions to vote. He said they feed you religiously what you relevant like. He said, so if you want to see how the Facebook algorithm likes, go to the search bar, and there is one, go to the search bar, search for something you really don't like, or are not interested in at all, like 20 things and watch your newsfeed fill up with that content. Fly fishing by J.R. Harper. Watch fly fishing stuff, saturate your newsfeed until you're that bored that you don't like any more of it, and it changes tack to nothing.
I was chatting, and I don't know how you pick that. I was chatting with someone about how Facebook could become even better, and the brilliant thing about Spotify.
Hang on a sec. Jake, Go play on the Xbox, mate. You're not going to be interested in this. That's my stepson is just. Go on, mate. Sorry, go on.
So Spotify is amazing at guessing my mood.
Oh yes, you
We
mentioned
talked about
this.
this.
So
So
it's about voice as well, tonations and
So
stuff.
I open the Spotify app,
Yeah.
and 9 times out of 10, the suggested playlists in that moment, at that time of day, for the thing I'm about to do, I'm like, yeah, I absolutely want to be motivated and work through this. Or, yeah, I'm feeling a bit crappy, I do want to have something to just like calm me down. Or, yeah, I'm feeling creative. Why can't Facebook be like that? So when I open Facebook, or any social media platform, it sends me everything. But what if I want to open something and be inspired? Only show me stuff that's going to inspire me. What if I want to be something thought-provoking? What if I just want to catch one cat? Or what if I just want to laugh?
I hope they're listening.
And wouldn't it be amazing to be able to have a
We're live on Facebook. They're going to be listening.
like a feed filter? And I know that there are certain things you can build yourself, but they should be smarter at going. And how amazing would that be for marketing? If you can then say, Facebook, if someone has just said, only show me content that is thought-provoking, that's the moment Audible should be advertising to me. Don't show me Audible self-help books on my advert feed when I want to be entertained and laughing.
Yeah.
So but the whole kind of frame of mind advertising, and that's the thing about the relevancy of social content is. And I suppose that's the kind of the channel platform. If, like you're saying, if you're there to see something to make you feel excited, if you're there to trying to tell you if you can, but I think social media has an opportunity to learn from something like Spotify to create a mood for someone. Because as an advertiser, I would love to advertise someone not based on whether their demographic. You can pick a demographic easily.
Yeah.
Passions, easy. If you want to advertise to rugby fans, any guy could do that. I want to advertise to people who are, a certain demographic with a certain passion, with a certain emotional feeling at that moment, because
at that moment.
That's true relevancy.
That is massive.
And do you understand the irony that Google, who was fantastically good at understanding intent from their search algorithms, have just failed at social media and turned off
Google Plus. Yeah. Oh, I was on Google Plus. I think I got about 3 likes in the entire time, 8 months I was posting daily on it. But
nobody knew how to use Google Plus.
Sorry, Google. Google
Well, no,
Plus.
they've turned it-
Well, you told us it was rubbish because you turned it off, haven't you? Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Hello, David. Nice to meet you.
But that's the one thing. If you want to advertise to someone based on their intent, you use Google, because when you search in their browser, I want to know about X. That's their intent. They're telling you the intent. And I got into the car and Google Maps says, "Oh, you're off to this place," because you always go off to this place at this time at this date, so they know. Yeah, those sort of things.
I suppose but
they don't make emotion.
No, and
that's
what
key.
Google are brilliant at is I have a problem, or I have an intent, and Google is fantastic at serving up there. There are loads of moments that are sellable moments, where there's no, if I'm just feeling a bit demotivated, and Spotify knows how to respond to me, they're very good at that.
Yeah.
I'm not seeking out motivation.
No.
You wallow in yourself, pity, don't you?
Well, whatever the thing is that I want, I'm not going to go and search for make me feel better. So an advertiser can't respond to that unless they have that ability. Now, Spotify I subscribe to.
Yeah.
And so it's a walled garden. There are no adverts there because I pay not to be advertised.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There was talk of a certain voice platform listening to you all the time, so it could say, "You sound like you're choked up. You need some cough mixture." Because it was listening to the way you speak.
Tones of voice.
So it could say, "You sound sad. Do you want me to call
an ambulance?"
your therapist?"
Yeah, the therapist. That's it. Yeah, that's quite cool, isn't it?
If you're the therapist.
If you're the therapist, that's brilliant. Yeah. Direct dial to the therapist.
Yeah, but if you have one in a business, and it sounds like your MD is close to the edge.
To kill you.
Yeah. What you need is a coach. Bang.
Oof, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. So fantastic, great stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things that Gary Vaynerchuk says in Crushing It is about persistence and also about failure. And he says he has been wrong. Out of 10 predictions that he's made on social media, out of those 10, he's been wrong 7 times.
Yeah.
But he's been right 3 times. And he's saying that just if there's a new platform out there, get on it, play with it, find out everything you can about it,
Yeah.
be a first person on it, and yes, you might be wrong,
Yeah.
it might not be the next big thing, but if you're on it and it does become the next big thing, and you're repurposing content from other social media platforms,
Yeah.
and it's not a massive amount of extra effort to go on this new platform, then get on it. Because early adopters of anything, they just reap massive results, don't they?
It's so much easier to be standing on the doorway to a club, knowing everybody as they come in, than be the person who has to meet the host.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
No,
So,
can you
yeah.
explain that? You lost me
So
there.
if you're the first person to the party
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
stand on the door, you
Oh,
get to know
yeah.
everybody as they come through the door because you can say hello to
It's a
them.
great technique.
Yeah.
Next party I go to, I'm going to be first in, I'll be standing at that door, greeting everybody. Are you the host?
I need to be invited to a
I'm
party
just-
first.
Well, actually, I don't get
So if
invited
you're
to parties
first
either.
on the platform, you set the tone from the platform, you set why people come on the platform.
Yes, okay, I get you. I get what you're saying now. So
Yeah.
when I make a party, I invite Gideon and he's the only person that shows up, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mini parties, that's what I'm
So the
saying.
saying fashionably late is no longer relevant.
No, you be fashionably early. Yeah. So one of the things, so what I've been doing, I've been experimenting with different social media platforms. Is it all right if I show you my old social media strategy? I'll have to I'm going to draw it down here and then I'll pop it up for you so you can see it in a bit. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm good at LinkedIn. I know I'm good at LinkedIn. I've been doing LinkedIn now. Well, I've been on the LinkedIn platform.
Since it started.
Since it started, because
As like a contractor and kind of
as a contractor, where
Yeah.
it was started as a recruitment platform.
Yeah.
And so I got myself on there,
Yeah.
and what I did that was different to everybody else is you got about 1,300 characters for every single one of your positions. I filled every single character of that,
Right.
and made sure that every single one of my positions, going back to a long time before most people were born, it was on there. What did that do? Well, that gave me search engine it's called LSO, LinkedIn Search Optimization.
Right.
So every recruit, I turn up every month in about, I could actually probably, oh no I can't, you're watching on my phone. I was going to get my phone out of your pocket there and start checking how many people look at my profile. I turn up in an amazing amount of searches every single month. And that's because I optimise my profile for getting IT contracts and IT work, technology-based positions. And so LinkedIn I'm good at. But what turned me on LinkedIn was the fact that when I was working for Shell, Shell have an IT department for their 9 IT departments. So I was working for an IT department called IT for IT. It was mad. So we were helping the other IT departments to get their crap together and get things right. So we were basically supplying them all the stuff they needed to do. And the guy who I worked for there, I said, right, I thought, right, I'm going to pick his brains. Where do you find people to work for Shell? And this is 80,000 strong people, and they're IT for IT department, huge. And he says, the first place to look at is people who currently work for Shell. I look at their LinkedIn connections, and I search people who've already worked for Shell, look at them and their LinkedIn connections, and that's how I recruit people. And I thought, whoa, I need to. This was 10 years ago, by the way. So
Yeah, because I was thinking preferred supplier list.
So looking for connections of connections, and that's how they started to. That's how Shell were recruiting 10 years ago, which I think is brilliant. They didn't need agencies. They were just looking at the connections of connections, which is really quite cool. So I thought, right, became an action coach for technology companies, going to use LinkedIn, and so basically what I started to do, the mistake I made on LinkedIn was connecting with anybody. All right, so I'm a member of a little group of people who are just awesome, and they put out content every single day, and they're just incredible, and they put out good quality content. And there's one guy in that group who's to do with the automotive industry. And I've got, as I said, I've got 14,000 connections on LinkedIn, or whatever, and it's a fair amount. He's got less than me, Now if I put a post out there, I can get between 3,000 views, 5,000 views, 13,000 views of that post. Very nice, thank you very much. But do I get a lot of interaction? Likes and comments? Likes okay, comments not so much. Maybe I'm not stretching the audience, I don't know. But this guy, he puts you know, what I think is a pretty inane post. I mean, that's not exciting. Sorry, it's not exciting. If you're watching, that's right. But because he's only connected to his target niche market, and we've talked about this already, he gets hundreds of likes and hundreds of comments, and that's really the biggest regret I have with LinkedIn. Is that really, if I started again, I would only go for technology companies and businesses that my posts are incredibly relevant to. Not not a generic, I serve everybody, but a specific, I can help technology companies double their profits, triple their profits within 12 months. That kind of thing. So obviously now I've done it. So I've got LinkedIn right in the middle. Now a lot of people, they start with their website, but because I'm posting on LinkedIn every single day, I use that as my starting point. And what I then do is from LinkedIn I'll either post text only. I get better viewership if I've got some sort of photo in there. Yeah? Now, the interesting thing about LinkedIn is if you put a professional photo in there, you get less viewership than if you put one of me going, that kind of thing, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know why, you do know why, because it's more person to person. It's not a stock image that someone's grabbed and just plonked on there. And that generally, as a small business marketer, that generally works better. Not so much probably with massive corporations, but definitely for smaller businesses works. If they can see your face and look into my bloodshot eyes. So if I put a video on there, I get more interaction, but what I also get is people watching me and watching the videos. Now, here's the thing about any social media platform right now. I had, I think I had about 60 people in the Chamber of Commerce event that I was running, and I said to everybody, right, hands up, everybody would watch a 60-second video on LinkedIn. Every hand in the room went up. I thought, great, okay, super. What about a 3-minute video? 50% of the hands went down. Talk about short attention span. 3 minutes, they say, no, I wouldn't watch 3 minutes. And of course, when it comes up, you can see how long the video is and it counts it down, doesn't it? I do that myself. If I see 3 minutes, I think, oh, that's too long.
Well, with Medium now, so read time for an article, because everybody judges how long of my life are you going to take to tell me something.
And so with that, now my videos are 3 minutes plus. And so, yes, there's two theories to this. The first theory is most people won't watch it because it's more than 60 seconds. But those that do will be far more engaged with me than those that don't. And am I aiming at those people that will spend 3 to 7 minutes watching one of my videos?
There was
I'll change my tactics, by the way, but carry on.
2 years ago, there was an advert, a piece of video content, quite a big brand, hour and a half, millions and millions and millions of views, and people paid up to £10 each to watch it.
Whoa!
Because the content was just so fantastic.
What was it about?
Lego movie. That's not a joke. Lego movie.
The Lego movie.
Yes. Every advertiser, all of my clients that I speak to, they are saying, how can we create our Lego movie?
Oh, creating a Lego movie.
Yeah. Because Lego movie.
It's about creating a movie out of Lego bricks.
No, the Lego movie.
The Lego movie.
The Lego movie.
It's the biggest marketing campaign ever.
Yeah.
People pay to go and watch.
See, I've never seen the Lego movie.
Oh, it's brilliant.
So I'm missing out here.
It is independently a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But it is a 1 hour, 30-minute advert for Lego. Which people pay to go and be advertised to for an hour and a half. Because the content was so fantastic. And
just about everything in it you can buy from Lego.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, everything that was shown in there was a set that you could go and buy. And so there are loads of big brands now that are saying, how can we? So people recognise that 30-second TV ad. It's so hard to get that attention to go through. If we can start seeing people's passions and emotions and target to those, then creating content that is branded and that is kind of from the brand has the voice. It's not product placement, it's not about product placement, it's about brands creating, and small businesses, it's so much easier for small businesses to do, because small business can create content that is about them saying, here is something I can share with you, that I'm sharing a voice video on LinkedIn. Actually, you know, the interview that you did with, I can't remember his name, the property guy.
Oh yeah.
I watched that every
Andrew Roberts.
Was that 45 minutes?
It's 45 minutes and people watch it.
I watched the whole.
It's really interesting, isn't it? So I would say that because it's my interview. But so Andrew was great as well.
So both of you are very interesting, and in that moment, that topic was massively relevant to me as an individual because I was considering buying property.
Hello, Louisa, by the way.
So yeah, it is about recognising that. So sometimes you need to be very short, as almost as broadcast. See you're very short as this is your broadcast content, and then if you're going to go beyond the broadcast of just being essentially salient, noise, brief, visibility, you can go way longer. And I have far fewer people, but the value of that person is going to be much higher. So a mixture of words.
Cool. So we're talking about social media, and we're talking about actually a strategy to cover a lot of platforms, as many as you can, but with the same content, without having to recreate the content. So Todd, Graham Todd, he does this by doing a blog. Me, I start with LinkedIn, because I'm good at LinkedIn, I've got a fair amount of connections. But I also use something called Buffer. I don't know if you can see that. Buffer, yeah. Buffer's a scheduling tool where you can schedule posts to go out. Because what I found is, well, what do you think, for LinkedIn, what do you think the 3 best times to post on LinkedIn are?
Friday afternoon.
Times of the day.
Yeah.
Like Friday afternoon is a good one as well.
There's a lot of engagement over weekends when people
stop
are away
posting.
from work. Well, people stop the noise, but you read the article-sized things on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Because you're at home.
Yeah. Morning commute. Just the morning commute.
Morning commute. Yeah. And what time is that approximately? 8. Yeah. So I post at about 7:15. So I start catching that morning commute. What's another good time of day that people might actually check LinkedIn? Lunchtime. Yeah. When their boss is not looking, or they nip out to gather fag at lunchtime or lunch break. Some people eat at lunchtime, and they'll go on LinkedIn, have a look. What's another good time?
Home commute.
Home commute. Yeah. So what I do is in the morning from LinkedIn, I'll have prepared every single day a decent morning post. With maybe a video, okay? I'll talk more about that in just a second. For the lunchtime and in the evening, what I'd have done is I'd have prepared on the Sunday a whole bunch of posts, and I'll schedule them. But I'll put that one live in the morning manually, because on Buffer, the scheduling tool, you've got 700 characters only. Yeah, because there's some sort of restriction. Whereas if I type in my own, I've got 1,300 characters to play with. And it's amazing how quickly you run out of space. Now, the interesting thing about that is a top tip on any social media, if you're going to use video, also have a description of what's in the video on the post. Because I don't want people actually not watch the video, but they'll actually read the post and click on the link to book an appointment to talk to me.
Yeah.
But they didn't watch the 3-minute video. So what I'm doing right now is so I post on LinkedIn, that's where I start. What I then do is I'll take the video part and I'll put that on YouTube, alright? I put it on YouTube because YouTube's got longevity, it lasts a long time. Yeah. LinkedIn, you've got about 3 days before your post is dead. Yeah. And there's no point in articles on LinkedIn, don't bother with it. Get 3 articles in your profile on LinkedIn, but don't actually ever bother writing anymore, no one reads them. I've had articles on there for 18 months and I've got about 7 likes. You know what I mean?
Did you
and 1 comment.
Hashtags within the...
I might have to revisit that, I will, because they've
introduced hashtags will
again.
increase the longevity.
I might do that.
You've also got to be careful Buffer, because all platforms prefer native content.
Of course they do, yeah.
And if you use Buffer,
I noticed
they will limit the reach.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. But that's cool. Because I don't mind so much on the midday, I'm just being there, so that people scroll through and they'll see it. So YouTube, I put my videos on YouTube, I created, so for example on LinkedIn, I did a series of 17 ways to get more stuff done. Yeah. And it was 17 short, sharp videos on productivity. And so what I did is from there I put them all on YouTube in a playlist on my channel. So that if ever people stumble upon it, then they can go down that. And then what I did from YouTube, I copied the link. So from YouTube, I copied the video to my website with the text from the LinkedIn onto my website as kind of a daily blog.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, I've been out of practice on this. I haven't done much on my website recently. I need to resurrect that from what I'm doing right now because it's going to be really essential. So, really important. From LinkedIn to YouTube. YouTube goes to the website because I needed a link to be able to paste into my website, and it's great that YouTube hosts it. Why didn't I go from YouTube and post that on LinkedIn? Put my videos on YouTube and then just link in a post on LinkedIn to YouTube.
I would imagine LinkedIn prefer native video.
LinkedIn will cripple your performance, as you just said with Buffer.
As will Facebook.
As will Facebook. So if you can post videos into LinkedIn straight from your phone, or into Facebook straight from your, or use Facebook Live. Hello, people on Facebook Live. This is very exciting. And we got one person watching. That's great, isn't it? This is not demotivating at all. You know, we're enjoying ourselves and we're having a lot of fun, aren't we?
The reruns will be worth it.
The reruns, yeah.
Like Faulty Towers.
Faulty Towers.
20 years from now, people will be watching this and go, oh, those multi-millionaires.
Look at them. They started in the garage. Well, starting Garter Pub. Sorry. You've got to start in the garage if you're multi-billion. Anyway, so what I also do is I will then, what I'll do now, what I have done in the past, I've created a load of tweets based on my LinkedIn stuff. In fact, what I've actually done, so Twitter, you can actually link your Twitter account to LinkedIn. So if you post something on LinkedIn daily, it gets posted to Twitter.
And
but then it links
you
back
put
to
the
LinkedIn.
hashtags into LinkedIn, it would make sense to put the same hashtags.
Same hashtags in Twitter, exactly, yeah. So, but the thing is with that is Twitter is for people with ADHD. People flick, they want short, sharp. So I've actually created from Buffer, based on my LinkedIn posts, about 100 different little posts. And these 100 little posts are pointing people, they're just asking a question and pointing people to my profit multiplier program. We'll talk more about that in a sec. So Twitter, that's automated. How many times a day do you think I post on Twitter?
The Twitter half-life.
You've got about 60 seconds on Twitter, So I post about 5 to 7 times on Twitter every single day.
From Buffer.
From Buffer, yes.
Every single day?
Every single day.
I thought you were going to say every hour.
No, that would be a bit obsessive. So
the half-life of Twitter is ridiculously low.
It is ridiculously low. So, also, what I've actually got is, Instagram. I'm not very good at Instagram. I need to rethink my strategy. I was saying earlier that, it's a powerful, you see, here's the thing though, a massive fashion company that I've currently got as one of my clients. I won't mention the name, but it's £650 for a T-shirt. I might have mentioned that earlier on.
I may have missed that.
They've got millions of people on Instagram because it's the perfect thing. If you're launching a new fashion line,
you don't want to be on LinkedIn.
It doesn't work on LinkedIn.
Look at this great new T-shirt.
Visually led, then you have to
visual. I've got to work harder on Instagram.
No, but I would argue that you don't.
Oh, okay.
Because
don't argue with me, video.
No.
Video.
So I would hypothesise.
Oh, okay. That'd be great.
Is the return on marketing investment?
Yeah.
So if you spend an extra 2 or 3 hours a week optimising your Instagram content,
will I get the results?
I think that those 2 or 3. Personally, I think those 2 or 3 hours would be better spent on YouTube or LinkedIn or places where. So if you're looking for business-minded, small business owners in a frame of mind, in that moment of relevancy, going. So yes, small business owners are Instagram owners, but when I open my Instagram app, I'm not in there to be in my business frame of mind. So you could start creating Instagram content that is an extension of your personal brand. That so you could say, I will put stuff up there that is inspirational quotes, whatever the transform your life kind of stuff. So you could do that. I think that this whole question about saying that super famous fashion brand.
But I'm not going to mention the name.
I'm not going to mention the name of. they wouldn't want to appear in Take a Break magazine.
No.
They wouldn't even want their brand in there.
No.
Because...
And they are so good with branding.
Yeah, so
it's incredible.
Exactly.
And Instagram is a branding platform.
Yeah.
I get lots of people who like, because I've got 2 little dogs, so they've got an Instagram account. So they've got nearly 2,500 followers.
That's amazing.
Right?
You've got dogs and you've got 2.5. Nothing wrong with dogs.
Yeah.
But 2,500 followers for dogs.
Yeah.
But that's a perfect example
it's
of why
actually
you shouldn't bother
why I shouldn't be on there.
But people like everything I post on there, but I can't monetize it.
No. That's a good
No,
point.
so you can't, your fashion brand can, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
And the great
That's
thing-
fine.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that doesn't mean that you need to spend 3 or 4 hours a week.
No,
all
on
the time.
Instagram.
So actually,
Look at what you got,
sure,
your quickest return on
duplicate
investment.
it. You might as well.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there might be someone. But
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
it's about
The
that return on investment.
motivational images that go on your Twitter account, post them on Instagram with the format change. Yeah.
Thanks, mate. I've just dropped my pen. Right, I'm back, don't worry. So, I wasn't very good on Facebook either. Can you see? Down the bottom there, now I'm actually repurposing my LinkedIn and popping it on my Facebook. Yeah. But the thing about Facebook that I've recently started doing is actually being more proactive in groups on Facebook. And actually, you know what, the funny thing about Facebook is, I had a couple of thousand people on Facebook, and I purged them all down to 60.
On your personal
On
thing.
my personal Facebook, I had 2,000. I purged them down to 60 because I thought Facebook's just for friends.
Wow.
It's not.
I think Facebook.
It was.
Facebook is a loser, and so I think Instagram is kind of more. And a lot of people now will connect to their colleagues on Facebook, but not on Instagram.
Yeah. So I'm using Facebook for connecting with networkers as well. Because Facebook don't mind if you actually connect to people who you're networking with. They don't ask for email addresses and cripple you! I'm not bitter, of course. I'm not bitter about
But you should have a fan page on Facebook.
Oh, I've got a business page, I've got my personal page,
Right.
and what I've actually getting now, I'm starting to grow my business page a bit more, but I've also got a closed group.
Yeah.
You know about the closed group,
Yep.
top secret profit multiplier program. If you want to double or triple your profits in 12 months, rather than just having small percentage growth, join the profit multiplier program. It's great, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really good. So, yeah, so Facebook I'm actually starting to get to grips with right now, and the groups thing as well. So, I'm revising this entire strategy. Judging by there's a shift in people's attention span to about 60 seconds, I've created daily profit, so a 57-second daily profit multiplier program hot tip. Yeah?
Where can I subscribe to this for? I would like to know.
You can't subscribe, you have to follow me on social media. So what I'm going to do with that, 57 seconds, the great thing about that is it's odd.
Yeah.
Now you know about the number 7.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
talk about that.
Yeah.
If you say 60 seconds or 1 minute, yeah, there, whatever. 57 seconds, that's where it's at.
That's memorable.
But can you imagine me trying to talk, getting one thing in 57 seconds?
You told me that this session was going to be 57 seconds.
I liked you, didn't I? It's like an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours. Oh yeah, we've been going for an hour and a half.
Wow.
That's not bad, is it? Yeah. God, and we got no viewers now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Right, so here's the thing.
Even Lego Movie didn't go that long. That's how dedicated you are.
I'm really dedicated. Actually, you know what? I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
And if someone else can enjoy this as well, then I think that's fantastic. All right. If they don't join us live, then hopefully, you never know, they might join us later.
And
so,
next month.
and you never know, because if I put book club on every single month,
Yeah.
someone will start watching. I don't think anybody will watch the whole thing.
But because he said,
It's commitment. It's consistent.
Commitment. There you
absolutely.
go. And this was brave. To expose yourself to
I've
the whole
exposed
world.
myself. Everyone's thinking, well,
And,
he's a
and
bit.
here comes the police car.
He's a bit of a nutter, isn't he? There was
He's exposed himself.
some odd views in the pub. People are thinking, hang on,
It was brilliant. There's people who've been walking past. Like,
what are they doing with
I've been
that?
able to see
Live-
them all.
live
But these people, they're thinking, are these famous? we are influencers. Terrible influencers, but we're still
someone
influencers. No, that was ages ago. Oh, we got someone on.
There's a one.
There's a what? So what was I saying? So 57-second videos. Yeah. So I figured, I looked at all the platforms, and if I want to repurpose the same video on all platforms, it has to be about 57 seconds. Instagram, I think the limit is 60 seconds. They might change that. But if you look at people's attention span on videos, then you know what? It's important that I keep to 57 seconds. And what I've done is I've recorded 32 57-second profitability hot tips for the Profit Multiplier Program. And the idea behind that is people will watch them on Twitter. And they'll watch them on LinkedIn. They might watch them on Instagram. I don't care. Instagram, whatever. I don't love you. Facebook, they will watch them on Facebook. They'll watch them on YouTube because I've actually got people subscribing to a YouTube channel. Not many. And they'll watch them on my website as well. And what I'm actually doing, and with my 57-second videos, the idea behind it is I want to be able to put just one point across. And the point of all this here, is an extra prong. Are you ready, Andrew? We've got half an hour, an extra prong. I want to rub this out. I didn't bring any to rub things out. Have you got a tissue?
May do.
Right, quick, get me a tissue. Someone get me a tissue. Rub it all out, get in. Great, doesn't matter about the smudginess. This is live action, look at this. I didn't prepare this earlier, as you can tell. Right, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Because this is absolutely huge. Can you read that?
Yeah.
It says voice. Voice. So, buddy, those 57-second videos are part of a master strategy for something that is a massive growth opportunity right now, which is Alexa. Now, obviously you've got Google Home, you've got Apple Pod, you had Cortana. Let's talk. Did you hear about that? Yeah, I told you about that, didn't I? Yeah. Let's talk about that in a minute. So this last segment of this is going to talk about voice. Voice is really important to anybody who's a small business owner right now, or if you're a social media marketing expert or SEO expert, you need to get to grips with this technology now. Yes, it's constantly changing right now, so it's difficult to keep up with all of the different stuff. That's why I've got a super nerd called Andrew Thomas and Nigel Creaser. Sorry, Nigel, if you're listening, you are a nerd. Sorry, mate. You're a great nerd, obviously. But I'm a nerd too. And would you say you're a nerd?
I'll embrace
you know, you're not a nerd. You're a marketing nerd, that's right. We're technology nerds. Yeah. So, Andrew, why don't you tell us? So, Gary Vaynerchuk, in the last chapter of Crushing It, he talks about voice. Now, I met Andrew more than a year ago, wasn't it? Yeah. And Andrew was the last person that I ever gave a 90-minute complimentary consultation to, who was a one-man band. There you go. That's claim to fame, isn't it? So, but we forged a relationship there that has now just come into fruition. Because I read Crushing, well, I listened to it on Audible, and I listened to that last chapter. And when we talked a year ago, I thought, I got the concept. It was brilliant. But I didn't get it. Do you know what I mean? And when I heard that, I thought, oh my goodness, we need to look into this now. This is the perfect opportunity because people don't know how to use this platform. And so what I've decided to do is I want my 57-second videos, the voice part and the video part, on the Alexa platform as a skill. A skill is an app on the Alexa platform. And what you've got in the Alexa platform is something called your daily flash briefing. So someone can get in the shower, and it's all about, you were saying earlier, those moments, those regular routines. They'll get in the shower and they'll say, Alexa, give me my daily flash briefing. Isn't that massively deep, manly kind of voice?
And if you're in Germany, then that's the weather, so you know what to wear.
Yep, far away. So, before you start on this, so my concept is, I want my voice, and if they've got an Echo Show, which is like an iPad, or an Echo Dot, which is like a tiny round one, I want my face, them seeing my face every single morning for 57 seconds, which is enough. Most people don't like after 57 seconds, so that's, it's enough to be in them. So they're hearing me. They're hearing my voice. They're not getting to know me. They're getting to like me. They will buy from me if the time is right at some point. But I'm constantly there. And this is where, for small business owners in a local area, I'm going to hand over to Andrew. Tell me, Andrew, why as a small business owner in a town Why? You can now level the playing field against the multinationals, the massive corporations that have been squeezing you out of business.
Because you can put a flash briefing onto, well, encourage all the local community to subscribe to your flash briefing, and then every week you could tell people your special offers, you could do promotions, you could say where you're going to be if you're a mobile person, you could say all sorts of industry relevant things. So if there's something that's let's say you're in the legal profession and there's some big thing that everybody needs to make a change to their business to become re-accountable, then this is where you put it out. So you become relevant to everybody's life within your local community. Now the big boys can't do this because they can't be relevant.
Not worth their effort, is it?
They can't be relevant to the whole of the nation at a local level.
No.
That's not their goal. They want to sell on bulk to the national market. They don't want. You don't want to be. If you're a butcher, you've got.
Butcher's a great example.
Yeah, you've got
local
a butcher. Yeah, so you've got a local butcher. He tells you that he's got his shop and what the current special offers are in his shop every week. But actually, at the weekend, he has a van and he goes to the local car boot. Well, why wouldn't he promote that and say, I'm offering discounts if you come and mention my flash briefing?
And presumably, it's still all about content. Because
That's the thing.
I wouldn't
That's
subscribe
the thing.
to
No, you
someone
wouldn't.
that was just doing promotions.
No,
I would
you don't
subscribe
want to do
to a butcher that says, each day, here's how to prepare your meat.
Exactly.
Here's how to cut a steak perfectly. Here's how to cook a steak perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then maybe once a
That's
week
the
going,
content.
and on Saturday, if you want to try a bit of steak, I'll be selling these.
Yeah. So
2 for 1.
relevancy is key.
Yeah.
Owning the moment, so that if somebody is at home and goes, what can I cook quickly? And asks Alexa, if you're in their feed, why wouldn't you want to be able to say, we do home delivery?
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing is, the concept that I'm going for is I'm going to give valuable content every single day for 365 days a year. That's going to be 57 seconds. They will get an inspirational tip that will make a difference to their local business, their small business. And so eventually, they've been listening to every day, and then one of those will be a tip on, oh my gosh, we've got book club on Sunday night. We might be holding it live, so if you're a cheapskate, you can watch it on Facebook. But if you want to come along, it's 40 quid. You get some food, you get to meet Andrew Thomas, who's now an internet fame star, and Gideon, who's £40 billion international star. So, and so people agree, if you're giving them value, then they're going to, so for example, let's pretend local restaurant, Star and Garter, fantastic stuff, they give menu tips every day, and they just say, look, this is how to, this is a great quick, this is a quick, recipe. If you've got 60 seconds, a few minutes, you can pop that in there. We do this at the Star and Garter. You can do it yourself at home. Oh, by the way, Tuesday night's vegan night. If you're a vegan, come along. We've got some fantastic food for you, and no one minds that 5 seconds of just saying at the end, and you see, as you said, Andrew, if you're an international company, you can't say at the Star and Garter it's vegan night, because it doesn't matter. Who cares? If you're in Texas, no one gives it. But the interesting thing about what I'm doing is that because I can now have coaching sessions over Zoom, I can talk to people in Texas. It is all the tips I'm giving are relevant to people.
There might be people watching
in Russia.
Texas right now.
Hello, Texas people. I don't think there are. No, I'm not sure.
There might be.
There might be. I'll put it on YouTube.
Tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to put it on YouTube afterwards.
So can you download it?
You can download these videos. I think you can. It might be too long. There might be room on my phone for this. You know what I mean? So yeah, but Karen,
so it's flash briefings obviously can be regionalised, but why wouldn't you just put them out across the globe to solve your problem? It's just reaching everybody. So you can
help a lot of people.
So you can compete basically with the big boys. You can be in people's home. You can write. I mean, outside flash briefings, which are great for just conveying information and providing value, you can write dedicated skills. Now, those dedicated skills can directly address those moments that you were talking about, where people trying to make a decision. If you did the 5 W's, the why, what, when, any of those questions, including the how, people are asking Alexa. And if there's a skill there, then Alexa is actually now just at the point of dropping the invocation word, the word that says, so you don't have to say, Alexa, please do this. You just say the thing and it activates the most relevant skill.
So,
Because this market is moving so fast.
It's massively fast.
They're trying to make it as frictionless as possible to engage. So if you haven't got a skill in there created around your subject area, now's the time to get it before other companies get it and start to take it.
yeah, because right now, if you've got a podcast, you'll get about 17 subscribers because it's a massive amount, unless you're really interesting and different.
Yeah.
But if you get a skill out there,
Yeah.
because there's not many people right now doing it, and it's a local thing, it's fantastic. So this is an early adopter market. And the thing is, as well, with the skill, so for example, the kind of things that Alexa will be asked is, Alexa, tell me the top 5 curry places in Leamington. And you might be in your car. And they'll go, oh, and obviously, if you've done voice search optimization on your website, which I'm sure you do, don't you?
I do,
Yeah.
and it's a completely different ballgame from
Absolutely
normal
different
SEO.
to SEO.
So most standard SEO is all about writing good content, but based around keywords.
Yeah.
And of course, we're now talking about sentences, actual phrases that people would be saying. So if you ask Alexa about your brand and you don't about your brand subject and you don't come back, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, where can I get fish and chips? It will tell you where you can get fish and chips.
But I suppose,
and marketing is traditional marketing is dead because of this, because you can't inject advertising into that.
working with a company that spends billions on advertising, what I'd say to the small businesses is don't assume that this is your right. So if I was, we're talking about Head and Shoulders earlier. Head and Shoulders are absolutely competing with the local salon to give daily flash briefings on hair care. And there are 2 different people there. So what they're promoting is a shampoo product that you're seeing every week in the supermarket. They absolutely can generate.
They can do that. Of course they can.
If I am talking about chip shops, Harry Ramsden versus our local chip van. Absolutely, those two can both compete in the voice space. I suppose the advantage that a small business has, and you're saying about the SEO side of things, is if in Salvan we refer to the chipping.
Yes.
In another town they refer to the chip shop. In another town, so absolutely there is
the golden utterance is what it's known as.
Golden utterance.
The key word about your brand that really links to your brand, to your brand value.
So so yes, I agree that the days of being able to create one 30-second TV ad and broadcast it to everyone, that is going very quickly. But precision marketing, I've been sat in meetings with some very, very big spender advertising, and they are talking about long-term having one-to-one relationships with consumers because technology, data-driven marketing. Companies like Axiom, companies like what Spotify's doing, these people are able. If you say I want to send this message, and what's being tested are audiences from big corporations. They used to say I want this one ad to reach 70% of the UK population, when you think about it, that's almost crazy. If you think that one piece of 30-second creative is going to work for 45 million people. That's not the case. What they can now do though is they can say, okay, I'm going to create a core piece of content so that it's still in the pink shirt. So you always need to make sure that the storyteller is present in their advertising, but they can now tell 10,000 different stories. And so yes, absolutely, small businesses are more nimble, they're faster, they can be more targeted, they can be really laser targeted. Like you're talking about, I'm only going to focus in on this type of business on LinkedIn. Don't assume though that the big businesses, the reason why, so Facebook I remember advertising on Facebook 10, 12 years ago. 13 years ago.
You're an ancient advertising Facebook.
12, 13 years ago,
Yeah.
I could buy people in the next street. Now, I've got to advertise to an audience of at least 30,000 people.
Interesting.
Because Facebook don't want to, at the beginning, it's the small businesses that were fueling Facebook, because the big advertisers were like, that's some weird social platform, not so interested. Now, the revenue that comes into Facebook means it's even harder for a small business to use that platform. And it's almost getting to the point now where
And too expensive.
the cost, the reach, you're wasting
Why
loads
would they
money.
spend a load of money on a TV advert, hoping that people will be watching it, when the main market is now into streaming and watching on demand? When you could put it straight onto social media and get and get the feedback straight away that whether people are watching it. And so you need to stay ahead of that, and voice is currently ahead of most of the big businesses.
Absolutely, and I definitely agree. So, and small businesses have got a.
Advantage
All big businesses move very, very slowly.
They do.
Yes. People are talking about a plan that they want to implement in the second half of 2020.
Yeah.
So right now is the time to do it.
And absolutely. So there is the Wild West that Todd did. There is an opportunity to get in early.
Yeah.
And if you get in early, you can establish yourself. You can get connection.
Once your flash briefing's in the queue, they're going to find it very hard to move it up in the queue and get that position.
Yeah. So I think it's
getting in now is the best.
And Alexa also has routines, which is a new concept.
So there's a lot of urgency here for small businesses.
Absolutely. I've been trying to tell this to people, but until the last Christmas, where the biggest selling item
was the Amazon Alexa.
Was the Amazon Alexa powered devices, where they were almost, for £30, people don't realise this is the fastest moving consumer take-up ever. Everybody has a phone. There are houses with multiple Alexa powered devices.
Because you can have
screens in the kitchen with the Alexa show, by their bed,
the dot next to your shower.
There's even now a plug-in where you can plug into a 2-pin plug and have it in the shower where your shaving point is.
No way.
There's multiplying. They've got Alexa in the little stick you put into the side of the TV.
In the downstairs toilet.
Yeah, there will be nowhere where you won't be able to ask a question and receive an answer, and therefore you need to work out what's your customer's journey around your brand and products. Work out at what point those interactions would actually happen, and then own those moments on the side of voice.
The key is owning the moments with voice and being there now. Voice technology right now, and just making sure that you get a space. And I'm working with Andrew right now, and what we're going to be doing is helping small businesses with a 3-hour course where they can go from knowing nothing to be able to actually put in place an Alexa flash briefing in 3 hours.
At the end of 3 hours.
We want them. That's the goal. Is to be able to do that. Take them from nothing.
It's not a training program. It's a start doing this now program.
Do it now. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's complicated. It's constantly changing. So if with the 3-hour course, if people want a service where we do it for them, then we'll do that. Andrew can do that as well. But if they can do it, but the goal is to teach them how to do it themselves. But obviously they want to outsource
those moments, so they tailor the flash briefing so it resonates with their customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, obviously, there's a lot of stuff that goes on around this, so we're going to help people put the whole package together. So if they can't actually do it, then
Sharon.
Hello Sharon, nice to see you. It's been a while. So having that capability, getting the knowledge first of all is really important. For social media marketers, we were going to put together a 3-month course of 1 hour per week to help them put together stuff for their social media clients. Because, guys, if you're a social media marketing expert right now, and you can't help your customers get into voice, you're going to lose customers. Probably. You might do, mightn't you? Because obviously people who do voice might do other stuff.
Yeah.
and they might decide, oh, let's just switch over to Andrew.
Well,
It's
yeah,
easy to do.
well, okay, I can do
But what-
all, I
right
can do
now,
all the social
of
media
course
stuff
you
as
can.
well.
You do all the social media,
Yeah.
but what we're interested in is really is voice.
Yes.
We're not interested in actually putting social media marketers out of business. We're interested in actually helping them to help small businesses. So there's two prongs. There's the course for a small business owner, the 3-hour course. Obviously, social media marketing companies can come on that as well. But then there's obviously a 3-month coaching program for social media marketers who we teach them everything from right through. So they, at the end of that 3 months, they know what to do, and they are the experts that their clients can come to for voice. And then obviously there's a do it for you program where the problem with voice technology. Well, what's the problem with voice technology right now?
Well, there's too many
Tell
platforms.
the world.
There's too many platforms.
Yeah.
There's a few. I know 2 cross-platform toolkits, so you can write something that runs on a Google Assistant action, and with minor changes would also run as an Alexa skill. But there's lots of different platforms springing up. If you're in Russia, you write for Alice, the Russian Yandex skills, but the toolkits aren't quite there yet. If Samsung are about to, have just started expanding rapidly out Bixby to go on all the Android platforms. So the market really is exploding. There's not one solution. You have to try and write native across all of them. All of them have different peculiarities of working out the intent behind the phrases. Because if you imagine it's like building a formula. You've got no battery.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah.
This might end rather rapidly when the battery runs out of my mobile
We could plug
phone.
in this one.
Oh, of course we can, yeah. Actually, no, I was at a charge, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, super, that's all right. Well, that'll work, yeah. But I think we should be all right. We're about to finish anyway.
So it's all about building out a formula and working out how the questions are answered all the way through to get to some particular point or moment. For example, buying a pizza, and people would say, "I'd like to order pizza," and you go, "Okay, what toppings? What type of crust? Do you want this? Do you want that?" So until you've got all the equation that would be a purchase, you have to be able to ask all the missing bits. So there's a complete conversation flow that have to be modelled with your clients around their moments, and then transposed across into the particular platform that you're trying to write for. So it's not
so there's lots
easy.
of platforms. Yeah, and also, so we're concentrating on Alexa because it is the biggest at the moment.
Yes, yeah. Google are selling a lot because of their home connectivity, for turning on lights and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
So, but from
and Google are catching up rapidly.
Yeah. So we may offer some stuff on Google as an additional course or an add-on to the end of the course.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think Alexa has it because
got
of
the market. Yeah. So we're concentrating on Alexa, but obviously the principles that we apply to Alexa will apply to Google Home.
Absolutely.
They'll apply to Apple HomePod. They'll apply to all of the others.
Yeah. Apple have been way behind. They've just bought into a technology firm to start to get to grips with that. So I expect some big announcements to start to come from Apple.
Yeah, absolutely.
As they play catch up.
Apple are great. Sometimes though, it's too late, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You look at.
Well, Siri is very good at answering questions,
yes,
but they've not expanded out their architecture to allow those questions to be my answers.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll go on the internet and find answers.
Yeah. So it's like a voice search engine.
Yeah. And Google's very good at that as well. Which is why you can do voice search optimization on your website to be able to answer those frequently asked questions. That's people who
That's
use
a good use, isn't it?
Yeah, people who used to write frequently asked question sections are going to come into their own shortly, because those questions should be the basis of a lot of your voice technology.
Nice, yeah, good stuff. All right, guys, it's been fantastic to talk to you both, and thank you for the hordes of people who've been watching this. We really appreciate participation. Hopefully there'll be more people later. I think all in all we had about 7 people on the bits and pieces. They obviously got bored really quickly and left. I don't know why. I mean, looking at three. Are you? Would you class yourself? You're not middle-aged yet. Are you middle-aged? Virgin.
Yeah, no, I'll accept
I'm
middle-aged.
definitely middle-aged. And Andrew, you're middle-aged as well. We've got two middle-aged people and someone slightly younger. But you know what? Still got some grey hair, mate. You can catch up with us. So three medium middle-aged men. Thank you for watching. I'm going to turn this off right now before my battery dies. Should we do this again?
Sure.
Let's do book club next month. Let's be persistent like Gary Vaynerchuk says. We'll put book club on as a Facebook live thing. And but obviously they don't get the copy of the book. They have to download it themselves on Audible. Great to chat, everybody. Thanks for listening. Right, I'm going to turn this off now. Excuse me, Gideon. And we stop going live.